Welcome back, book lovers. It's Lady Lauren Explorer. And today I'm going to be, done by my nails, I'm going to be talking about Achillean books that I've recently read that I actually think you might enjoy. Because I was surprised. So let's just turn the page. Okay. Now, let's talk about some of the good ones. I recently got to know the writing style of TJ Klune because of Wolf Song. This is the mass market copy, and this only comes in mass market copy. Like, this is how thick this is. This is a thick girl. Thick. 687 pages. And I think I read this book in one day or a full 24 hours. Like a full 24 hours. It was so good. It made me want to continue the rest of the series. It also made me want to get these, not the Fairy Loot, the Illuminate special editions of Under the Whispering Door and the Seashell House. I'll put those two up. But that's the reason why I was like, oh, I got this. Liked it. Let me go ahead and see what else he has, because I already bought those two. So I bought this and it was great. And I just found out that I will be getting the next 3 in the series for Christmas, and I'm happy. I'm super happy. Oh, let me talk about this. So this is a story about wolves, obviously. It's almost AAOB. So we go through a timeline, literally, of when these 2 people meet. And one is a teen and the other is I think he's like 10 or 11 when he first meets Ox. I think it doesn't say. I think he's 11 though when he first meets Ox. And then it goes from when Ox is 16 till when Ox is 26. And then we really get into the nitty gritty of the story. Stuff starts happening, but there's in between things too. But it's such a good series. Well, from the first one I have. I can't wait to read the other 3 because it follows the other brothers in the wolf pack. But this one, it took my heart. I gave it a 5 stars, so yes. The next one is Vanilla on My Hands by Parker Lay. And this came out this year in August. This is another thick one. And you guys might know this from, I think, my November, but 642 pages. It's a thick one too. But this is one of the tombs I read. And this is also Achillean, but if you can't tell, this is BDSM. And this whole setup is really long, really long. This goes with a Japanese American who finds a job working with a politician. And the politician, fiery redhead, orange some days. And they get into a relationship of dom and sub. And this goes through the whole entire thing. But it doesn't get to any sexual bits until the middle. The whole setup is in the front, because we find out he's in a relationship with someone else, and he has to like figure out what's going on. It's just like a lot happens, and then a lot of like the build up again of like the situation he's in, because he's never been in a sub situation, so he's learning and going through a lot of things. When I mean going through, he's trying to research a lot of things and asking questions. So basically, I think this book is like one big setup to the next book, because it is. But a lot of things happen. It ended on a very weird ending for me, because I know there's gonna be a second book, and I kind of wish I didn't read this until the second book came out so I could figure out what was going on, because there was one ending I was like, okay, well, yeah, this leads up to the second ending, but then all of a sudden it ended again, and I was like, wait, what? So I don't know, but I know that I will be reading the second book of this when it comes out, and I can't wait. My next one is The Rockstars Guide to Getting Your Man by Ashlyn Kane. This came out on my birthday, actually, October 12th. Woo woo. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll read this, because I love rockstar romances, and this is almost like a second chance romance as well. So, yes, love that. And it's about this guy who's going back to his hometown to take a break from being a rock star, because he's like going through a lot. He's like trying to get out of his label deal because something shady is going on with the label. His manager is getting on his nerves. The band is getting on his nerves, and he just really just wants to focus on him, because he's a lead singer in the band, and he writes most of the songs too. And then we find out that most of the songs are about his love for his old friend, who is actually a ranger. So cute. Men in uniforms. Love that. And he just so happens to be at a cabin where his ex-best friend works at. And it's just like a really heartfelt book. I didn't cry or anything like that, but it was very heart and hopeful and very light. And there are some alcoholism, drug use in this, but it doesn't happen to the main character, so I was okay with that. And it also is just the trials and tribulations of being a rock star, and all the stuff that they go through. And it was just really nice. So I liked it. Next one is Warriors and Healers by H.J. Barrows. This one, oh, the glare is just getting me. This one is a throuple. So we have a Native American who has put together this response, or basically a call for action, to have a doctor come to the reservation to help out with the tribe and their health. And so a doctor does come, and the doctor happens to be Daniel. I was like, wait, what? Because his last name is so weird, because it's Italian. But Daniel comes, and he is instantly attracted to him, and it's just instant. Then he gets really mad that it's like, he's like, oh, I'm falling in love with this white man. Then Daniel has been on the reservation for, I think, a month, and he's been running, and he runs past the police station, or the sheriff's office. I think it's the sheriff's office. And the sheriff sees him, who's also a white man, and he is the sheriff of a First Nation reservation. So that doesn't go over that well with building trust between First Nations. But we find out that they also he likes Daniel too. And then like how they got together was like super funny, like really funny. But I didn't really like this book. I gave it a 3 because I enjoyed the story for what it was, but I also find it like super unrealistic, especially the ending. But I think this is a great throuple because of like the trials and tribulations they go through in order to be together, and then the long distance, and then like this miscommunication is super big in this, like really big in this, really big in this. So if you don't like miscommunications, this isn't for you because it's big, big. But again, like I said, I did enjoy it for what it was, and I did think that this was a great throuple relationship because that throuple ship, it was built on like something real. Like I understood that, you know, you had to make time for each other and then all together, and not just focus on one or the other, or have one person just be the person just getting all the love. So I like that in this book. So yes, Warriors and Healers. And the last 2 are from TJ Klune, and I actually haven't read them because I'm reading them for my December TBR. And it's the Bear, Otter, and the Kid series. And this one is Who We Are. So there's 4 in the series, and I'm hoping that I like the series to buy the other 4. But I decided to just get these 2 because I got them at discount. Woo woo! So if I like the series, I'll read the other 2, and it would be all good and dandy. But I do like TJ Klune's writing, so I'm hoping that these 2 will get me. Last but not least is something I never expected to be reading at all. And I actually don't know how I found out about this on Amazon, because I was literally scrolling on Amazon trying to find some Achillean books that aren't mainstream, that haven't been like a bestseller or anything. I just wanted to find some more Achillean books that actually were long and were not just smut and erotica with no plot. I hate those. So I wanted to find like series, standalones, like tombs that were just maybe had smut in it, but also had a good storyline. And then I found Out of Position. Took me out of my comfort zone, but I got it on Kindle for 99 cents. So I was like, you know what, synopsis sounds cool. It's going to be weird, but let me try it. So Out of Position is in this furry world. Yeah, I said it, furries. It's in this furry world, and great diversity though. Super great. And it's about this tiger. He's a tiger. It's about this tiger who is a football player in college, and how he meets this fox at a bar, and the female foxes are called vixens. Oh, actually, all females are called vixens in this world. And he sees this fox vixen, and he goes to approach her, and she plays hard to get for a minute, and then they leave, go to her place, and then he goes to town, and he finds out that it's not a vixen, it's actually a boy, but he still does it anyway. And then he's just hooked on the fox. So the tiger's name is Dev, and the fox name is Lee. They have such a weird relationship at first, because first it's just like friends with benefits kind of thing. He was okay being secret. He's a football player. And then we start to realize that like Lee, the fox, actually enjoys his company and actually is willing to help him, because Lee is also very big into football. So he's telling Dev like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this in your plays in order for you to, get better. And so he starts doing that, and then he starts seeing how he's getting better and he's getting noticed. And it's just their story of how they become friends of benefits to boyfriends to Dev getting signed to their version of the NFL, and how Lee becomes a scout, and Dev has to figure out if he wants to have his career and have his love life. Because, like, again, in this world, like in the real world, not a lot of gay athletes who are active, and Dev finds out that someone's trying to out him, so he just outs himself, and he has to go through a whole bunch of like trials to get respect on the team because he's gay. And Lee has to go through his own stuff. It's 5 books in the series. 6th one is just like a bonus, but you can just leave off at 5. But it's 5 books in this series, and it's their lives from college until the second year of him being in their version of the NFL. And a lot of things happen. It was a lot of angst, because I love angst, especially when the angst turns into like a happy ending. Love it. Sometimes bittersweet endings get me too, but this is so much angst. I was rooting for them. I wasn't rooting for them. I was like, oh my gosh, Lee, stop it, please. And then I'm like, Dev, don't you understand what you're doing? It was so much. It's so much. Okay. First book is Out of Position. Second book is Isolation Play. Third book is Divisions. Fourth book is Uncovered. And then 5th book is Overtime. A 5-star series, even though some of the books I gave 3 to 4, like 3.25 to 4 stars to 5 stars, but never a 2-star and never a full 3. And I didn't think I would be into reading furry porn or smut, but the plot was so good. I just had to continue on because I'm trying to figure out what was going to happen. I really wanted to know the ending of their story, so I just kept going. And then I realized that the author has other books, and so now I'm just going to read them and see if I like them. So that is... I got that off my chest. But the little books so far, I recommend them. If you like Achillean books, I like great series, especially the Wolf Song. Like, that one, it still gets me. Like, I will reread this a lot because it was really good. But that is it for today. I will check back in with you with some next Achillean books that I should recommend to you guys. And I hope you guys will go out there and read them, because, again, some of them were perfect. I will see you guys later. Bye.